Cosine law applications. Question 6. Two boats leave a harbor at 10 a.m. Ship A travels 40 degrees from north to east at 20 kilometers per hour and ship B travels south 64 degrees east at 25 kilometers per hour. How far are the boats at 12 noon? Okay. Now, as usual, first thing you will do is to sketch and figure out what kind of position these ships take, right, within these 2 hours. And then solve the triangles, right? So let's make our axis first. So that's y-axis representing north and south, and this is east and west, the x-axis, correct? Now, we are given that there are two boats which leave a harbor at 10 a.m. Let's say this is the instance 10 a.m. They are at this point origin, right? Ship A travels north 40 degrees east. It means what? It means that from north, which is here north, the position is 40 degrees east. So 40 degrees towards east, like that. So that is the direction in which A is moving. And when we say 40 degrees, that means from north it is 40 degrees. That means this angle from here to here is 40 degrees. That's what it means, right? At 20 kilometers per hour. So in 2 hours, because we need to find how far they are at 12 noon, so from 10 to 12 it is 2 hours, right? So in 2 hours, ship A will move to a distance of 20 into 2, which is 40, right? 40 kilometers, correct? Now, and the ship B travels 64 degrees east from south. So from south, ship B goes 64 degrees east. That means this is your south, right? That's your south. And from south, 64 degrees, so kind of like this in this direction, right? And this one is moving at a speed of 25 kilometers an hour. That means in 2 hours, ship B will travel a distance of 50 kilometers, correct? So let's say this is 50 kilometers for ship B, right? Then the difference between their positions will be what? Let's say 20 and this is 40 kilometers here. It's traveling in this course, right? And this ship is traveling in this course, which is 64 degrees east of south. Then that reaches here. So the distance between the two will be this distance, correct? That is the distance. And now we can complete our diagram and label it. So this distance from here to here is 20 times 2, which is 40. This is point A, let us say. They started origin O, and that's my position for B. And at B, this point is 25 into 2, which is, let us say, 50, right? 50. Now, the second part to this is to find the angles in between, right? Now, this angle from south to east is given as 64 degrees. So that is 64 degrees. So what you need to find is angle in between. That means angle AOB, correct? Now, AOB can be calculated in this situation, correct? You can say, well, this is 90 degrees, so that means this one is 90 minus 40, which is 50, right? So we say this is 50, right? The top half, and the bottom half is 90 minus 64, which is 26, okay? So that total angle is 50 degrees plus 26 degrees. Or you could say 180 minus 64 and minus 40 gives you the interior angle of the triangle AOB, correct? That's how we define our triangle. And now, how far the boats are at 12 noon? That is the distance AB, correct? So that is the distance AB which we need to find, and let that distance be, let us say, x, right? So that distance between A and B is what we need to find, correct? So that is how you need to solve this problem. So first and foremost, make a sketch like I've drawn, right? Understand the terms also. That is, ship A travels north 40 degrees east. That means from north at an angle of 40 degrees towards east. So that is the direction. Do you see that? 40 degrees from north towards east, and that is your east, correct? Ship B travels south 64 degrees east. So from south 64 degrees east. Then the second part is distance they travel in the given time. So time is from 10 to 2 hours. That means total time of 2 hours, correct? So in 2 hours, distance traveled will be 20 into 2 for A, which is 40 kilometers, and 25 into 2 for B, which is 50 kilometers, correct? So we have a triangle which have two sides given, which are 40 and 50. And what do we need to do? We need to find angle between them. Angle between them is 50 plus 26, correct? Once we know two sides and angle between them, which law can we use? We can use cosine law, correct? Use cosine law and find the distance AB, correct? So, I would like you to write all the steps and then solve this question on your own. The diagram is already there with us, correct? Now, to start with, make a sketch just as I've done. Sometimes you may be required to draw this diagram separately also so that it is more clear, right? But in this case, well, it is okay. Now, to solve this, we should write like this. Time is from 10 to, time is from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, right? That is t equals to 2 hours. That is the total time, right? So therefore, in this, distance OA equals to, the speed is 20 kilometers per hour into the time 2, right? It is 20 kilometers per hour times 2 hours, right? That means 40 hours. Sorry, 40 kilometers. And for distance OB, the speed is 25 kilometers per hour. Time is 2 hours. Therefore, the distance is 25 times 2, 50 kilometers, correct? Now, the angle AOB is equals to, you could write this as 180 degrees minus 40 degrees minus 64 degrees, correct? And then write down 50 plus 26, which is 76 degrees. Okay. So now you have a triangle for which we are given two sides and included angle. And therefore, you can use cosine law, right? So we use cosine law. Now for cosine law, this distance AB square is equal to OA square plus OB square minus 2 times OA, OB, and cos of the angle between them, right? So cos of angle, let me say angle O, right? So this is for us 40 square plus 50 square minus 2 times 40 times 50 times cos of, the angle between them is 76 degrees, correct? Now, I would like you to calculate this and then find the distance AB, right? So, do your calculations and figure out what the answer is. It's always better if you can do ahead of me so that you can check your answers with that of mine, right? So, I'm doing the calculation here. Minus 2 times 40 times 50 times cos of 76 equals to 3132.31. And if we square root this, we get AB, right? So square root equals to 55/96. So we can write this as approximately equals to 56 kilometers, right? So that's what we get, that the distance between them is 56 kilometers, right? So that is how you need to do all these questions, correct? They're not very difficult, but they're interesting, and what you need to do is go slow, think, and then do. That will, so I should actually write here separately, because I have written AB square here, I should write distance between them is AB, which is equals to square root of 3132, which is approximately 56 kilometers, correct? So that is how you have to do them, okay? Thank you.